Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to a recap of the Challenge Season 38 Ride or Dies, episode number 1. Yeah, we got another season. I'm excited for this season. I got some friends competing on the show. So, of course, I'm going to recap. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to this. Now, Ride or Dies, we've got 34 contestants. We don't see them all this first episode. They got some surprise teams that are showing up later, but eventually 34 contestants, 17 ride or die teams. So many newbies attached to this show this season because some of them are coming in with existing veterans. We've got a few teams that are veteran, but we've got a lot of veterans that have people we haven't seen before. We've got some rookie teams as well. So it's going to take a while to get used to so many names, so many newbies this season, but there's a lot of people playing the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. So first, right off the bat, as we start the show, we see them on a couple of different boats. They're in Argentina this season, same place that CBS's MTV or CBS's The Challenge also was in Argentina. We see them on a river heading down the way. Start getting introduced to some of the teams. We see Tommy and Sis from Big Brother 21. Yay. Yeah, of course, I'm going to be cheering for my Big Brother family. So I was happy to see Tommy and Sis. I'm really curious to see how they do this season. But we see Tommy and Sis talking a little bit about being newbies on the show. I see Fessy back. Now, some of these teams, they haven't really told us yet whether it's a romantic connection, a friendship connection, exactly what ride or die means for each of these. I thought Fessy maybe had brought a significant other with him. Apparently not, based on some conversations that take place later in a hot tub with Fessy. So, but Fessy is here, which tells me bring on the eating challenges. Yeah, I want to see Fessy. If he wants to win the grand title, I want to see Fessy defeat an eating challenge because that's been his Achilles heel so far. Jay is back. Jay, originally from Survivor. He got the short end of it last time he played the challenge. He won so many comps, but because of that, being a newbie, a rookie, they just kept putting him in the elimination arena over and over again until finally his luck ran out. He went home. I want Jay to do well. He's teamed up with Michelle from Survivor as well. I want Jay to do well because he deserves it after the last time he was on here. So Jay's back. I'll be cheering for him. Turbo, what Turbo? He's from Turkey. He had won the He-Man Gladiator or something over there. Turbo is already stirring things up, griping at Laurel from one of the vets for not pouring him a drink and just trying to get under people's skin. Turbo is always interesting to watch in this show. So we've got that. And then we've got Tori and Devin are a duo. They haven't always been on the best of terms with each other. But this season appears they're going to at least be trying to work together. And so far, so good. But Tori and Devin are a duo. I really should dislike these two, especially Devin, since he's very anti-Big Brother and makes no bones about it. But I can't. They're fun to watch. I enjoy watching them. It's going to be a great season with them on here as well. And then who else we got? We've got Casey and her brother. I know Casey. I've met her several times. She won her last season of the challenge. Only person to win Big Brother and the challenge so far. She's a reigning champ. She's got the tightest connection possible in that her ride or die is her brother. They'll watch out for each other, right? You don't have to worry about romantic. Yeah, they're going to watch out for their family. Does that make her an early target? The fact that she's got the tight connection plus being the reigning champion? We'll find out. Or maybe not. We'll talk about that as well. So we've got several different teams in there. And then we've got Nelson and Nuris. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't know Nuris. I met Nelson. Great guy. I've met him several times. But the two of them are a duo. And we've got Raven and Johnny, two newbies coming in as well. We see that there's a little bit of a, not love triangle, love quadrangle, I guess, to some degree. Nelson's dual partner, Nuris, and Raven's partner, Johnny, apparently met on the plane with a lot of people flying down to Argentina all at once. Apparently they met and it was affection at first sight because they spent a little time making out, apparently. So now you've got two duos with one partner from each that are kind of linking it together. Does that make for the most awkward possible alliance that you could have going into this game? Maybe. It sounds like Raven maybe was a little interested in Johnny herself. So the jealousy may raise its ugly head just a bit. But on the other hand, maybe it means they'll be watching out for each other as well. We'll see where that goes as we go through the season itself. And then also we've got a newbie team. Colleen and Kim are our German team. I look at these two. I don't know if y'all all seen it. Will Ferrell was in a movie called the Eurovision Song Contest. He played he and a partner from Iceland. I look at these two and I just keep thinking of Will Ferrell. They're going to be interesting to watch. So Colleen is the female. Kim is the male. She was on the Mole, the German version of the Mole, and I think he was, I don't know what he was on. He was on something over in Germany as well. We'll find out later. But the two of them are a team together. Now, apparently, she's telling everyone that she was on a dating show, the German version of Love Island. She's sitting in a hot tub telling Fessy that. She doesn't want people to know that she was on a show, The Mole, that involved lying to people and being devious and everything else. She thinks people are going to discount her a lot more if she just says it's a dating show. And she's right. I mean, I can certainly see where that's coming from. And I guess she's counting on the fact that since it was in Germany, most of the people in this season probably didn't watch her show or anything else. But most doesn't mean everybody. So she's telling Fessy that, it's just on this German Love Island show. That's all I was in. And we do see Fessy acting a little bit interested in Colleen. Wonder if there's a little bit of a connection there. Remember I said I wasn't sure if Fessy brought in a significant romantic partner or not. Apparently not. Hopefully not, since he's talking about the romantic connections possible with Colleen. We'll see where that goes. All right, and then finally, who else do we have? We've got Laurel and Jack. Laurel's been on 6 or 7 seasons. It's been a little while since she's been on there, but 6 or 7 seasons. And we find out Jack did his research. He knew who was coming to this season. He looked up Colleen. He knows that she was on the Mole, that she wasn't on just some dating show. What's he going to do with that information going forward? Is he going to use it to his advantage? Is he going to use it to throw him under the bus? A little bit of both. Well, he certainly knows. So most people don't, but at least one person in this house knows. And if one other person has a secret, it's not really a secret anymore, right? All right. So with all of that going on, we eventually see the teams heading out to the first competition of a brand new season of the challenge. TJ shows up. We've got a lot of shots of the newbies significantly impressed. Sis is impressed seeing TJ. I don't know. Seems like Sis was maybe a little more excited to see TJ Lavin than she was even excited to see Julie Chen during our season. So yeah, Sis is excited to be playing the challenge, obviously. But TJ shows up. We get ready for the competition, and we find out there's already been changes in the team. Yes, we have unfortunately lost a team, and it turns out it's Casey and her brother. How quick was that? Now, TJ says nothing. He just says, unfortunately, it's a weird world. We lost Casey and her brother. And to her brother, I'm sorry, you weren't even on here long enough for me to know your name. I should. I can't remember what his name was. I hope he gets another chance. That's unfortunate. But TJ does not announce why the two of them have left. I did some research after the episode was over, found out it was COVID. They both tested positive for COVID. That is how horrible for Casey. She was supposed to be on Big Brother All Stars. She tested positive, so she couldn't do that show. Supposed to be on the challenge. She tested positive. She couldn't do this show either. Not good for Casey. Maybe a little more vitamin C or something going forward. Anyway, so yeah, unfortunately, we have lost Casey, and I do say unfortunately, I would have loved to see how her and her brother did. But they are gone. But TJ says, no worries. We got other teams to replace Casey and her brother. And they end up bringing in Nam. Yeah, remember Nam with Lolo Jones the last season. Didn't always work so well together. But we've got Nam back and his ride or die. And I don't know what her connection is to him right now. We'll find as the season proceeds. And we've got a second team. We also have Olivia, who is from Love Island season 3, and Horatio. And I don't know that Horatio's done reality TV before. Apparently, he's a really good soccer player and may have a whole lot of influence in that particular arena. We'll see if Horatio and Sis start talking a little bit, being two soccer players. But anyway, so we've got Nam and his ride or die, and then Olivia and Horatio, newbies coming into the house as well. So we lost one team. We got two more back. How many teams do they have reserved, just sitting there in hotel rooms in Argentina waiting to get the call? As brutal as the challenge could be, they may have a few of them back there. So with all that going on, it's time for the first challenge. TJ says it's he calls it balls or bolos or anyway. The challenge consists of this: a giant mud pit filled with 100 balls. They call it bolos. Bolo is I guess the vaqueros down there. Two balls with a rope in between. They throw it kind of like a lariat to take down cattle, things like that. Wrap their legs up and everything. So each team has to wade into this mud pit. On the other side are different questions that they have to ask. Very basic questions like, what is the cumulative age of the two of you? Whatever, all the answers are in numbers. Whatever the answers are, they have to then go back into the ball pit, find balls. Each ball has a number on it. Find the balls that represent the correct answer, attach them to that question and answer panel. Once they found answers to all three questions, take all those bolos, the two balls attached with the rope in between, take them to the final spot, hang them up. First team there wins. What do they win? We don't know yet, but it's something good. We'll find out here in a second. So TJ blows a horn. Suddenly we got like 28, 30 people all invading the mud pit, fighting over each other and trying to answer these questions, get back to find the balls and everything else. We immediately see that Colleen and Kim, remember our German team, they're at a bit of a disadvantage because one of the questions says the answer is your cumulative age, or what is your cumulative age in years. Well, being German, they don't really understand what the word cumulative means. Yeah, that's a hard word if you haven't been exposed to the English language. So yeah, that's taken them a little while to figure out as well. We do see Chauncey and Amber, who are another ride or die. One of the questions is multiply the letters in one partner's name by the number of letters in the other partner's name to come up with a number. And so Chauncey and Amber are actually counting off the letters in each other's names because it's right here on their shirts. So they're using their names on each other's shirts to make sure that they've got the right number of letters to add it up. Hey, smart play, isn't it? So they do that. Eventually, though, we see a few people. It looks like Jay and Michelle may take it, but in front of Jay and Michelle are Johnny and Raven, newbies, part of this little quadrangle or whatever. But definitely a newbie team. Gets there just a little bit before Jay and Michelle. They've won the first challenge of season 38. Now, for those of you who maybe haven't watched a lot of past seasons of the challenge, you tend to have a little bit of a trial by fire. The veterans really tend to gang up in the very beginning, take out a few newbies until some of the rookies start figuring out what's going on, and maybe they can fight back a little bit. But you tend to lose a lot of newbies right at the very beginning of this thing. Well, now that we've got newbies have won the first competition, is it going to be a little different? Well, we're getting ready to find out. We find out that, first of all, by winning this competition, Johnny and Raven are now the only duo safe from elimination this week. They're good. No one else is good, but they're safe from elimination. And they've got a task from TJ. They have to pick 4 different duos, 4 different ride or dies, 8 people in total. They have to pick them to come into the interrogation room, let each of those ride or dies argue their case before Johnny and Raven about why they shouldn't be sent down to the punishment arena. Once they do that, then Johnny and Raven will pick one of those duos to actually send to the arena to compete for their lives in the elimination arena. So being that Johnny and Raven are rookies themselves, does this work to the advantage of other people who may be new in there? Someone like a Tommy and a Sis? Yeah, I would think so. I would expect so, unless you get the vets whispering in their ear and convincing them to join alliances and all that, which they tend to do. All right, so who have they picked to actually come in for the interrogation? Well, they pretty much both have said they want to protect the rookies. They want to go after the veterans. Raven's ready to just bring in all the vets and let them hash it out and everything. I thought Johnny's pretty smart, though. Johnny said, look, we're bringing 4 in, but that doesn't mean that we're sending 4 to elimination. Let's hide it a little bit. Let's not make it so obvious that we're targeting the vets. So let's bring in some rookies as well. So it's a little bit less clear what our intentions are. I thought it's a pretty good idea. So as it turns out, the 4 duos that they've picked to come in to be interrogated, Laurel and Jack, Laurel's a vet, Tori and Devin, obviously they're vets, Colleen and Kim, the German couple, they're rookies, and then Kayla and Sam. Kayla's done plenty of seasons. Sam's a rookie, so it's a mixed team as well. They bring them in each one at a time. Kayla and Sam immediately are offering protection, saying, look, if you spare us right now, we'll spare y'all when we win a competition somewhere down the road. But as soon as they get back out of the interrogation room, Sam's asking Kayla, saying, so do you want to work with them? She says, no, I don't want to work with them. That's just, we'll just say it because we have to say it. So yeah, they're not being so serious, but they've promised protection if they're kept safe by Raven and Johnny. Tori and Devin come in, and Johnny starts right off the bat, says, look, y'all are definite threats. Y'all are kind of the king and queen of the vets. I'm not sure Devin probably does like hearing that. He may not like having everyone else hear that, but I'm sure he liked hearing that a little bit. But Johnny said, y'all are both threats, but if we spare y'all right now, can y'all give us some protection? Because we know y'all are going to win stuff on down the road. Would you be willing to give us protection if we save you right now? And Devin saying, yeah, sure, we can do that. Of course you're going to say that, right? You make any kind of promises at this point in the game, I think. But they're saying, sure, we'll take care of you. You'll take care of us. Finally, not finally, we've got Colleen and Kim come in, and Johnny and Raven immediately says, look, we're rookies. Y'all are rookies. Why should we ever go after each other? We want to work with y'all. Can we maybe reach some kind of agreement that y'all are safe with us? We'll be safe if y'all go up there. And Colleen and Kim are saying, yeah, fantastic. Now, here's the thing. They're basically making deals with each of these groups, and I think that's smart. That's the benefit of winning this first competition. But I feel like they're phrasing it a little bit more as in almost a threat. If you save us, then we'll save you right now. It's kind of a forced deal. It's not really a lot of trust built into it. It's more just a deal. I almost feel like coming in, instead of phrasing it like that, it should have been a lot more like, look, we have no desire to send y'all out the door. It hadn't even crossed our mind. We just wanted to bring y'all in because we didn't want people to ever think that we were working together. 2, it gives us a chance to talk absolutely alone with no one else overhearing us. And 3, most importantly, we want to work with you. We want to have a tight bond, a tight alliance, and phrase the whole thing not as, look, we'll protect you if you promise to protect us. Straight up deal. Just say, we want to work with you. This is just all to make it not look like that in front of everyone else. I think they could have been more optimistic, more on the positive side in the way they presented it, but it is what it is. So then finally, we've got Laurel and Jack coming in right after Kim and Colleen. Remember, Jack knows that Colleen was not on Love Island Germany. She was on the Mole. And he does not hesitate one bit to tell Johnny and Raven that Colleen's lying about everything. Do you want to work with someone that already is lying to you about everything that's going on and such? They're also saying that they don't have any alliances. They didn't come in the game with alliances, that they wouldn't target Johnny and Raven if they won, that really, if it comes down to it, they're going to go after the people who did worse in the actual field of competition instead of alliances and everything else. Well, first of all, I don't buy that for a second. In a game like the challenge, you don't go after the people who do the worst in the competitions. You got to take out some of your targets instead. So I think they're just absolutely lying through their teeth when they say that. The other thing, I know that Jack is saying, oh, Colleen's lying about everything, therefore you ought to go after her. I'm not sure just because someone's lying is going to give me enough motivation to then send them out the door. Instead, now Johnny and Raven know a secret about Colleen. They can probably leverage that a little bit later down the road if it stays secret amongst most people. And who knows if they're ever put up against Colleen and Kim, at that point they can mention that she was lying about stuff. I feel like just because someone's lying is especially in the game of the challenge isn't enough motivation to get someone out the door. I'd hold on to the information and see if I could weaponize it somewhere down the road. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that Laurel and Jack said. I thought Jack was a little too forthright in the way he was saying things and all that. But anyway, so now we've got the 4 different duos that have all pled their case in front of Johnny and Raven. All promise protection if they can get protection back. Someone's got to get picked amongst these two. So we'll see what happens. Now, they do have a little social party where they go hang out and have some drinks and do some pretend dancing or whatever and just hang out with each other. Did notice that Laurel and Jack were spending a lot of time working on Raven at that party social, just being friendly with her and talking and doing everything they could. And Raven talks a little bit about this whole situation with Nuris and Nelson and Johnny, and that Nuris and Johnny kind of become an item and all of that. So she's kind of bearing her soul to them a little bit. And of course, they're listening and being best friends with Raven before they have to make their picks. We do later have a little bit of a strategy discussion. Johnny and Raven again. Now, it's amazing. You win the first challenge, you're the seat of power, right? So we've got Johnny and Raven discussing strategy with Jay and Michelle and Amber. I didn't see Chauncey in there, who is Amber's ride or die, but I assume he's on board as well. Basically, an alliance has been formed with these 6. And Amber's talk about I think this is her 3rd season. She's even won one season with it was CT, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was CT that she won. So she is definitely not a newbie, but she mentions the fact that the vets have really never given her the time of day. Again, this season, they really haven't talked game with her. She's ready to throw them to the side. She's ready to jump on board with these newbies and make something happen from that end. So we've got the beginning of a first alliance that they're going to watch out for each other going forward. And with all that being said, it's on to the elimination arena. Find out what's going to happen this week. Turns out Raven and Johnny do have to pick one duo to go into the elimination arena. And they have picked Kayla and Sam. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's going to be Kayla and Sam or, well, I knew it wasn't going to be Colleen and Kim, but beyond that, I really wasn't sure. I think Johnny and Raven were very scared about Tori and Devin. Probably didn't want to put them up out of fear that they would then become targets if Tori and Devin survive. So I wasn't sure between Laurel and Jack and Kayla and Sam who it would be. Well, it's Kayla and Sam. So they're going to go into the elimination arena. So now what happens? In seasons past, whoever did worst in this challenge would also potentially go into the elimination arena. TJ didn't say anything about this time, and it doesn't look like they played to see who won last in the ball pit as well. So there's got to be something a little different going on, and sure enough, there is. TJ says, all right, well, the other 3 duos that didn't get picked, I need you to head over to this rock. We're going to have a little draw. All right, well, I don't think we're drawing pictures. No, they're drawing daggers that are buried into the rock. It's like King Arthur. So each duo has to draw a dagger from the rock. Tori and Devin pull a dagger out. It's blank. There's nothing on the blade. Good, bad, don't know yet. Laurel and Jack also pick a blank dagger. Good, bad, don't know yet. Finally, we got Colleen and Kim drawing a dagger. Is it going to say death, target? Is it something else? Well, it does turn out to be something else. It turns out to be Colleen and Kim draw the dagger that says safe. Yes, indeed. They are safe, which doesn't look good for the other 2 teams that did not draw the dagger that said safe. Now, before we talk about what the implications are, there was a little funny thing. Devin, being the person that he is, made a little joke to Turbo, said, all right, Turbo, the daggers have to stay here in the arena. You can't take them back with you. Turbo, again, trying to stir things up, immediately said, what are you talking about, Devin? And Devin said, look, it was just a joke. I'm just, why is it a joke? Why'd you call me out on it, Devin? Devin says, look, it's because you're good at martial arts. I just was saying it as a joke. I apologize to you. And Turbo, I don't know if he's seriously upset or offended, or it's just him just trying to stir things up. It's probably the latter, but Turbo then continues to talk under his breath about, you better be, and I know who I'm going after. Maybe you're going home right now. Don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, Turbo's going to be interesting this season. All right, so again, we've got Colleen and Kim are safe. What happens to the other two? Well, it turns out that the couple that is safe gets to save one other duo that's standing down there with them. If this continues throughout the whole season, think how interesting this is going to be. Yes, you don't want to be one of the couples, the duos that's down there, but you could have power. Now, first of all, that means if you're a duo down there, there's no putting up pawns, because pawns could easily end up in the elimination arena anyway, regardless of the winners of the comp challenges, what they do. If you're one of the 4 duos picked to go down there, there's a chance you're competing in elimination. So no pawns this season if it stays this way. But we've got Colleen and Kim getting to save one couple. Jack and Laurel, Devin and Tori are both saying, look, we'll work with you. Well, look at us, trust us. Well, it turns out that Colleen and Kim, they're going for it all because they protect Jack and Laurel. Tori and Devin are fighting for their lives versus Sam and Kayla. Yeah, so right off the bat, we're going to lose a vet or two. It's not. I know that's not what a lot of people counted on, but that's what we've got at this point in time. So the competition itself, it's a giant maze, a huge maze, and the way it works is that each of the duos has their own maze to control. One partner in the duo stands on one side, another partner stands on another side. One controls the left and right, one controls the forward and back. So they have to work in conjunction with each other, in tandem, good communication with each other in order to tilt this board just right. 5 balls starting off in the very center of the maze. Whichever duo can get all 5 balls to the outside of the maze, drop into a hole first, wins the competition. A ball rolling, a ball control type competition, that's my kind of competition. Yeah, put me on a challenge, give me something like that. I'm sending them all out the door. Yeah, I'm so happy to see this. So this is the challenge they've got. Starts off, I think the very first ball that drops is Sam and Kayla, looking pretty strong. But Tori and Devin kind of just chill out. They aren't in too big a hurry. They start working a little bit more together. Now, Sam and Kayla are married. You'd think the communication would be a little stronger there, but maybe it worked to their disadvantage. I'm not sure, because Tori and Devin just finally figure out how to work with each other. Before you know it, Sam and Kayla got the first ball to drop, but at the end, Tori and Devin, by a 5-1 ball count, it really wasn't even close at the end. Tori and Devin have survived the first episode, the first competition in the elimination arena. They are safe. Sam and Kayla are going home. So Sam at one point said, this is our honeymoon. We just got married. Very quick honeymoon. I hope they get to spend a little bit more time away from the cameras while they're down in Argentina, get a little bit out of it. But yeah, Kayla and Sam are the first out. A vet out the door right off the bat. The line has been drawn in the sand, and it spells good things going forward for that. But the episode isn't over yet. No, TJ's got one more little surprise with us. He says, yeah, I know we lost a team here, but we may have a little addition. We may have another ride or die that I want to introduce y'all to. Smoke comes out a little bit, the shadows, all the drama and all that. We see walking out into the arena, Johnny Bananas and Nani. Yes, indeed. We've got a very strong duo of 2 vets coming back into the season. Now, there's a lot of people up in the stands, these contestants, that are very excited to see both of them. I'm not sure I'd be quite as excited. I'd be a little more dreading than excited at it. I guess they can be starstruck just like others. There's a lot of people who have not met these two before, the newbies and all that. So they're very excited. They may not be so happy about this a little bit further down the road. It's unfortunate, Nani, because Nani and Casey are girlfriends with each other, but Casey's already out the door before Nani shows up. She'll probably not what she wanted to see, but que sera, sera. Johnny Bananas and Nani are in the game. Yeah, that's going to make it just that much more exciting this season. I'm looking forward to the season, guys. It's going to be a fun one. One episode in the books with 34 people competing. We only have 40 or 50 episodes more to go. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be, but sometimes it takes a while for you to get these teams down to manageable levels. But that's all right. That's the challenge. So there you have it, guys. The line's been drawn. Vets versus newbies. We've seen it before, but it may have the newbies may have a little more control this season than some seasons past. Vets better be careful. It's going to be a great one, guys. I'll be back again next Wednesday to talk about episode 2. We'll see how Nani and Johnny do in this house of folks, and we'll see if Colleen's secret stays a secret. It's going to be a good one. Till then, guys, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.